Steve, episode 16, the Broadway block. Another big win against the Sabers. Picking up 2 points on the Bruins. Mika with his third hat trick of the year. Zach Jones registering his first NHL point. What did you like about the game? What did you not like?
So Keko scores two and scored his first in the last 10 games. So it must feel good to get that monkey off his back. Zach just move across the blue line and a quick dish, so that was nice. And on the power play as well, draws the defenders over. You hear like Steve Valiquette talk about that box that you need to set up to properly defend a power play. And when you slide across the blue line, you sort of draw the defenders open. And you create yourself an out shot, and the faceoff percentages were poor. So seems another time that we're going to have to work on that. But all in all, a really good game and a high scoring one as well.
Definitely. The Sabres didn't give up at any point in that game. It could have been a little closer. 6-3 win. Actually, fun point about Kako. That's the second 2-goal game of the season. Last time was against the Sabres, so that's good for us in our upcoming game. Like I said, Mika with his third hat trick. That registers Mika for 6 all-time with the New York Rangers, 7 total in his NHL career. He's 1 away from tying Rod Gilbert for number 2 on the all-time hat trick list with the Rangers. So that's good company to be in. We got to get this win coming up. I also really liked Alexis Lafreniere's play. He was all over. He was on the first goal. He had a from Adam Fox, then the cross ice pass to Mika. It was just great. I love what Quinn's done with that line over there. Love the production we've been getting from Hedo. One negative point is Hedo had that bad pass in the third period on the in the game, and then it really kept it in our zone for, I think they couldn't get a switch for about a minute and a half there. Luckily, Brendan Smith drew the penalty on that, but a couple more plays like that, the Sabres they're in the game. I think they're 12th on the power play in the league, so they're not to be underestimated.
Yeah, I know the play you're talking about, that little backhand to the center of the ice. And actually, Joe Micheletti was sort of ripping on him a little bit. But that's a rookie mistake that, like, we had talked about in the beginning of the year about letting them make those plays to learn from them, because I'd rather see guys like Hedel learn from that type of play. And, I mean, you could tell when he went back to the bench, he was feeling the whole line was exhausted. So definitely a lesson learned there, you would imagine. And the smart play, especially with a lead, is just like throw it back along the boards and create it deeper in their zone so that you can run off and get a change rather than trying to thread the needle when you're already a little bit tired on a backhand pass that's pretty difficult to make anyway. It's sort of like the double-edged sword when you're playing with confidence, because you have the confidence to make those types of plays. But at the same time, you got to remember what situation you're in at the moment. And when you're playing with a lead, sometimes you got to be a little bit smarter with the puck. Agree with you about Alexis Lafreniere's pass. It was a thing of beauty. I mean, he somehow knew exactly where Zibanejad was going to be. He looked over his shoulder, kept his head down, and really sold the drive to the net, and then just snuck the pass over on a sleek feed to Zibanejad, who wasted no time on that one. So a nice little array of goals too. I really like that play he made in the neutral zones, Zibanejad, where he reached behind his back with the stick, tapped it off of his own skate, and deked out the defender as well. So good, confident plays from Zibanejad. Shesterkin didn't look terrible, but again, it was a game where they threw 36 shots on net, so he had to be big at some points in the game. One of the themes seems to be from the last few shows is being outshot and allowing the team to generate offense in quick spurts. So maybe feeling a little bit of the loss on the defense for that reason. But I would agree with you. Zach Jones looked good in Trouba's absence and looked good defensively as well.
Another great point was Adam Fox with another couple assists. I think after the first assist, he was at 44 points, 5 goals, 39 assists. right now he's top defenseman in the league. Um, really hoping he pulls through for the Norris. A lot of talks about Hedman, and obviously we know the Lightning have clinched and will be in the playoffs. Little different situation for us going on. So people are saying it's contingent on if the Rangers make the playoffs, but what we forget is this is Adam Fox's second season. I know the way he's playing, you would think he's been out there for 5 to 8 years, but this is his sophomore season, shortened season, COVID protocols left and right, and he's 46 points, 45 points. You can't get better production out of anybody. And like we said, Zach Jones looks like a mini Adam Fox a little bit, a more offensive defenseman, which we really like. But Adam Fox has got to get some more recognition out there in that Norris Trophy bid, because he's every night he's all over the ice. He's on the power play. He's on the power play kill for against the other team. And he makes things happen. He's like Panarin, except for defense. Of course, Panarin wants to play with him. He makes everybody better around him. So
Fox's season has been really something to marvel at. And you and I, before the show started, we were looking into Hedman's stats. The guy who's ranked right below Adam Fox in point production right now. For someone who's in their 30s, in their mid 20s, late 20s, early 30s, with just the way he's able to adapt to the NHL pace. And his point production for his age comparatively to when Hedman was the same age is off the charts. I mean, almost double in less games played. I mean, to think about what Fox could be able to put up right now in a full 82 game season would be
scary.
It's scary and probably unprecedented compared to he's already in the company of guys like Brian Leach and Sergei Zubov with off the charts production and best within the last 20 years, talking about a Ranger. But if you compare him even to the rookie and sophomore seasons from, NHL highly touted defensemen, he's up there. 41 is what he's at now for assists, which almost puts him at a point per game pace right now, which is insane. It took Hedman 7 years in the league to get to a 70 point in 77 games played production wise. So Adam Fox is doing it all while maintaining only 4 penalties, I believe, taken all year. I mean, an unreal amount as far as doing it cleanly, avoiding hits. He's one of the most slick I've seen as far as avoiding conflict in his own zone or when he's up against the boards. He's not a take a hit to make a play type player. He's convinced you to think that I'm going this way and then make you run into the boards while I skate away with the puck type of player. So really cerebral play from Fox. And even on that pass to Kakko for that goal, he looks down to field the puck. And as he's fielding the puck, looks up at Kakko, looks back down, tricking people as to where he's going with it, and just rifles one to Kakko. So, I mean, these types of no look anticipation plays are a thing of beauty. And these guys are young enough that they can blossom together. And guys Kakko knew it as soon as he scored it. He pointed right at him. And that's a play from Fox. It was a Kakko goal, but it was a foxy move for sure. Really liked Panarin's play to Zibanejad in the middle of the ice there. Same kind of move. Throw it right on the tape, and as long as you got your blade there, it's going to go in. So a lot of good plays from the boys.
Yep. So we have the Sabers again coming up. Then we look past that to the Islanders. So I don't want to fall into the same spot where, we play the Sabers and then we come out thinking we're going to lights out on the Islanders. And then so I'm looking forward that if we're going to make a run for the playoffs, obviously we need the hockey gods in our favor. We need to slip in there, get in that Bruin spot or Islander spot if possible. But then looking forward, we need to get production out of the big guns and the rookies and the young guns, everybody out there. We kind of have each game where either the big guns carry us or we get a little production out of the young guns, but we really haven't consistently played hockey where everybody's clicking. Strome took 2 bad penalties yesterday. He had a good point streak there for a while. And obviously Kreider with his 20 goals is great, but his production obviously has slipped down a little bit. So we're going to make a run for the playoffs, and then looking forward past that, deep into the playoffs, we're going to need everybody to be lights out, crisp passing, no bad penalties from Brendan Smith or anything like that. Igor is going to have to be hats off to Igor kind of game being played.
I'd have to agree, man. And it doesn't get easier from this point. We've talked a lot about must-win opportunities, but going up against the Sabers tomorrow night is after that. It's Islanders and Bruins and Capitals
Make or
to
break.
finish out this season. So they're not going to give you anything. You're going to have to earn it every step of the way. These guys are the top gun teams in the league, or at least in our division for a reason, and league wide as well. It would be something else and quite the storyline if we were able to bump the Bruins out of their spot. And you and I had spoke a little bit before the show about if that doesn't happen, picking 15th is the worst case scenario. That means that we didn't make the playoffs and we didn't win the lotto, but we're still in good shape, and it's promising to see. At least it gives you something to fight for. You can't really worry about what happens league wide. You just focus on winning your games, but there's only 7 left, so they're all super important. If we could get another game or two where the Bruins help us out, all of a sudden you wake up and you're fighting for a playoff. So can't wait. Tomorrow's huge, and hopefully we can have a little bit of a repeat performance.
Couldn't agree with you more, Steve. Huge games coming up. Need a little luck on our sides. And a little praying, a little luck and a little prayer. Hopefully that gets us there, So I think that does it for episode 16 of the Broadway block. Steve, thank you for your time. Appreciate your insight. And let's go Rangers.
Let's go Rangers.